Hi, my name is Stephen Murphy. I teach Catholic theology at an all-boys high school in Louisville, Kentucky. Melinda's asked me to speak just a little bit today about how my experiences and what I've learned basically can speak to the question of how we can help Catholic youth today form a more foundational relationship with Jesus Christ. I think it's important to note that I grew up in the Diocese of Owensboro and had a good family that helped me experience who Jesus was, and then that experience was further kind of cemented and made real by some other things that I did in high school through the diocese, such as Christian Leadership Institute. I think first thing we have to look at, and I think as a class you've done this, is to try to remember where youth are as far as their spiritual development goes. I think most essentially they are in an experiential phase. They're experiencing what it means to have faith and these kind of things. They're seeing examples of that. They're being given opportunities to kind of go through that in intense situations. So I think that's where our focus needs to be. And kind of to prepare them for the other phases of spiritual development is key as well. And I think that's been the failure, or the kind of the problem, the flaw with maybe how we've been doing things over the past couple decades. It's been working for some, hasn't been working for others. A couple of months ago, I was looking at our Sunday Visitor when I was visiting my parents, and there was an article there that was basically kind of looking at the fact that more people have left Catholicism than have joined Catholicism at a ratio of about 4 to 1, which is pretty astronomical. The person who was writing the article asked several kind of prominent leaders as far as faith formation goes around the country kind of what their thoughts on were. What could we be doing? There were a lot of different answers. Some said that we needed more catechesis. Others said that that there was a certain lack of Catholic identity. And some said that there just needed to be more time spent in prayer. And, you know, I was looking at these and I was thinking, man, these people are so smart. They have all kinds of degrees. They have so much experience. And yet they failed to note something that I found so very important from my own experience, which is just the basis of having a foundational relationship with Jesus Christ. Catechesis essentially really doesn't mean much without that. It's part of that experience perhaps, but it doesn't become alive until someone really internalizes what it means. And in the end, that foundational relationship with Jesus is going to be the only thing that's going to sustain a person when they really begin to ask a lot of questions. So I think there are kind of 3 basic things we need to be doing from a youth standpoint today. First is we have to create good experiences, intentional experiences, I might even say. We have to be very intentional with how we present community to the youth. And then also the third one I'm going to talk about is authentic journeying. We'll talk just more about that. I think you understand what it means to experience and provide experiences for youth. But I think we have to reevaluate how we're doing that. The retreats that have been going on for 20 or 30 years, I don't think those are working anymore in the way that they need to. They're not providing relevant, authentic, real ways of relating. They may be providing some elements of community, but they're not actually cementing or presenting a really strong personal relationship with Jesus. Community was the second thing I think is important. Family is part of this, but we have to have intentional community that is good and authentic and accepting. That's what helped me at CLI. You know, it really helped cement things for me. It's part of that experience, really. Now, the third one, authentic journeying. I think this is about finding relevant ways to help young people who have experienced something, be able to carry it forward. So it's not just catechesis, even though that might be what it's called sometimes. I don't think that we could just call it that anymore. I think it's more about journeying. So it might involve youth groups, but we have to rethink how we're going to do that. I think it involves mentoring and shared journeying kind of along the way. Now, you know, I don't have all the answers, and Melinda didn't give me much time, and if you know her, that's not really fair because she'll take as much time as she needs. But I think there are some important things that we can point out, and we have to remember where youth are today, where they're going, and especially be mindful of being intentional about trying to provide opportunities for them to come to a real, true, deep relationship with Jesus Christ. Thanks.